Today's sponsor is Prime XBT. Prime XBT is an established trading platform that was founded in 2018. Prime XBT offers a unique trading experience with co-vesting, margin trading, and yield accounts. Prime XBT is available on desktop and their new iOS app. Prime XBT is offering a special promotion for those who sign up with my sign up link. Anyone who signs up with the link in the description can receive up to $500 to their margin trading account. Use promo code SONOFATECH for an additional first deposit bonus of up to $7,000. Terms and conditions do apply. Remember, any form of investing comes with significant risks, so do your own research. A quick disclaimer: when using leverage trading, it comes with extremely high risk, including loss of all funds. What's up, sons? It's Blind Run with Son of a Tech. Once again, we're back out at the farm. I've been having a rig basically shut down on me, and I think we have a solution for it. So let's talk about that rig. First of all, it's going to be this SOT rig RX 6000. It goes offline, it stays offline, I can't get it back up. Obviously, I have a lot of stuff going on in this farm because we are hitting three digit problems over here with temperature getting into 100 degrees. So the problem we're having is on this rig right here. It's running the ASRock H110 Pro BTC. This is the first motherboard I've ever had this issue with. There are some potential solutions, but I'm going to go with a more guaranteed one, hopefully, because the problem is every time it reboots, which is about once a day from the heat, I'm not getting an error on the GPU, so I can't even keep the rig like to a point to where I can troubleshoot it. It'll reboot and then give me this CSM enabled, which then won't allow the motherboard to boot with all 12 GPUs plugged in. So I have to basically unplug some of the GPUs, come in here, then disable this, then plug the GPUs back in, boot it back up, and it'll mine fine for about 24 hours and it'll crash with no errors. To fix this, I am going to install a new motherboard because luckily someone sent me one of these new ones, which is a TB560 BTC Pro. Now, the company in question that sent these to me is Tech House. And so I want to give a shout out to Tech House. There is an order with adding this to basket right now. I've emailed them to make sure that it's up and ready for you guys to purchase if you guys are willing to do so. Now, he didn't send me a CPU, but I do have one already. And that is a G5905. And then we're going to take the 8 gigabyte stick of DDR4 out of the other rig. So I'm going to get started here. Hopefully we'll have a good perspective on the camera. But first things first, shut down that rig, bring it in here, slap it up here, and then go from there. Actually, first things first, let's go ahead and get the CPU installed into this rig, and then we'll go from there. How's that sound? Now, I did bring my gyro, but it is charging, and then I will learn to use it, I promise. I'm going to spend some time on doing that. It's over here charging up, but for today, you still get the crappy shaky cam, and then I had my other one out there as well, or I have basically too many things going on in too many places, and I need to get my mount out here too, but I think this will be okay for now. Once again, I expect better out of myself, so I apologize for kind of it is what it is. I got a lot of work to do right now, and I'm just going to get it done and carry you guys along with me to the best of my ability with whatever resources I have available to me at the time, essentially. I have more resources. I'm working on getting them sorted, like a tripod, which would be extremely beneficial right now. So here's the motherboard out. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. I actually think I have one of these already running, the old version, the TB360, but you got 12 slots with decent spacing, better spacing than the H110. So the TB560 Pro does have better spacing on the PCI slots. You have one full in case you need to get a full by 16 GPU in here. also a little bit more advantageous than that. You have your NVMe drive slot, looks like just a single one. You have a single 8-pin additional CPU power over here. You have two 24-pin. One of these will be essentially for the motherboard power. The other one will be for your graphics card, so you'll essentially plug this one in to a secondary power supply so that when this one boots up, it turns on the secondary power supply, as opposed to having to use, you know, the splitters, which is pretty common and actually how it's set up out there. You have 4 SATA ports in case you want to do that. I'll be using a USB drive in particular on this setup, and you have your socket right here to install the CPU. It looks like, as far as fans, you got 2 fan headers up here. You do have a PWM controller here. If we go down to the bottom, got your CMOS battery in case you want to reset it. I do not see onboard power buttons, which is a little disappointing because I prefer that with mining rigs, but that's okay. You do have your front panel, so on first boot up, if AC power loss restore is not on, you'll have to jump these pins. Probably the top 2 right here, usually. You got speaker, you got USB 3.0 additional. You have a system fan down here. So total of only 3 fan headers, unfortunately, as well. COM, blah, blah, blah. Let's check out the I/O. The I/O is not too shabby. You do have your PS2 keyboard plugins in case you're going on legacy there. You have a single HDMI, which I do prefer now. The H110s only have DVI, and it don't work with all the new monitors really all of a sudden. If you just need a basic VGA, you got that. I prefer this setup, VGA and HDMI, so you got good monitor coverage. 4 USB 3.0s, 2 USB 2.0s, your NIC, and audio output, which we won't utilize, but it's probably just there to be there. Let's get the CPU installed. All right, so CPU install on these, done a million of them. I'm sure most of you all have as well too at this point, so I'm not gonna baby you through it. We're just gonna get it in. If you need a full setup guide, you can check out my building one in a milk crate, and that goes over exactly what you need to do as far as installing CPUs and memory and all that goodness. So I'm just gonna get the CPU out here. And once again, this is the G5905 Celeron processor. In some cases now, it's cheaper to get some other ones. Let's check this socket placement here. I think we had it correct. This is LGA 1200. They said this was 1200 as well, so this should socket right in. Boom. Being careful not to bend pins, and pop. One of the more satisfying parts of building a PC. But that one didn't pop off for me, so unfortunately it is what it is. There is pre-installed thermal paste on here. Hopefully it'll be okay. We may have to replace it though. I'm gonna leave it on because preferably we'll just be at extremely low power on these. So there's that. We're gonna swing this around, and luckily it's first install, so we just snap and go. And then spin. Lock into place and plug in the CPU fan, which I guess I did this a little jacked up, but that's okay. It doesn't really matter that much. CPU fan plugged in. Motherboard's prepped. Let me go tear down the rig and then we'll go from there. Double check and make sure that we have enough power on this unit. We have 62% and only 8 minutes left for recording. So we're going to turn off the recording. So here's the rig, but unfortunately I'm just going to do the repair because I only have 8 minutes left to do this video. So we're going to pull this motherboard and then I'll see you guys in a bit. Here is the memory we'll be putting in the new motherboard. All right, it's slotted in very nicely. I'm going to get everything hooked up and get the memory installed, but I didn't even have to change any of the standoff mounts. That's the AAA wave frame. Great frame. You should also check them out as well for open air. All right, it's a cable management nightmare, but I am looking forward to getting this up and running and hitting the gym. So let's go ahead and get it plugged in and see what the BIOS looks like. Well, boys, unfortunately it never came up. We have some problems. The keyboard won't stay lit. It kind of does this flicker thing. I'm wondering if it has to do with the USB. If we do turn it off, and then back on, we will get the BIOS screen. It'll show all the PCI slots active, it'll go to Hive, and then it'll go blank, and it won't ever boot Hive. And no control over the keyboard to get into the BIOS. So, dang. Good news, even though we don't have monitor out or the keyboard working, we are up and actually mining on this rig. Now, there's no overclock supplied or anything like that. I'm gonna let it run for a while and see what the stability is as such before we begin overclocking. So what could be some of the problems? Well, the BIOS could be needing a change on the UEFI mode for the monitor output. To accommodate that, we need a keyboard that's working. I'm thinking now maybe my keyboard is not working at all. So I'll troubleshoot that and bring out another keyboard. Other than that, if we get that operating, we could probably get video output and see Hive on the monitor. Maybe not necessary if this stays running and stable. So there's the replacement. As far as the motherboard goes, I'm pretty impressed with it. Right off the bat, all 12 GPUs detected. We're clearly mining on all GPUs. No real issues. So thanks for watching. Be sure to hit the like, comment, subscribe, and notification bell down below. Don't forget to go check out Tech House, which I'll leave a link down in the description for. So thanks Tech House for sending over the motherboard. It helped me out in a pinch. And it does seem to be, you know, feature full as far as it shows which PCI slots are detected, all that. We'll do a BIOS overview once I get the video output sorted, or specifically the keyboard output supported. So if you're interested in that, make sure you have notifications on as well as the subscription bell. I'll see you guys next Tuesday. If you enjoyed this content, be sure to hit the subscribe button for more, or check out this playlist for more crypto content related topics.